If I'm privileged to be elected chairperson of the African Union Commission, I would position myself to give the leadership and stewardship to ensure that those aspirations of our leaders are realized. Number one, I will make sure that programs to do with peace and security are given the due attention in terms of tackling those areas under the peace and security architecture that are required to involve Africans, but will also lead to the sustainability of peace in our continent. In other words, making sure that while mediation efforts go on, each country is supported to build peace and security networks which will buttress these mediation efforts, but also be the framework for building the democratic infrastructure necessary to keep our countries peaceful. So my mother always told me, the sky is the limit for you. And she told me, as my daughter, I want you to get an education. I want you to acquire a degree for yourself. I want you to get a degree for your father because he didn't get one, and a degree for me. And why am I asking you to do that? She said, because when you are educated, you can do anything. So I have a responsibility to that woman who raised me, ensured my education, and gave me the confidence to be who I am. The confidence that the difference between men and women is about reproduction, not about contribution to society. I have that responsibility to that woman to make sure that I perform wherever I am. I'll make sure that I coordinate all efforts to build infrastructure in Africa. That is, making sure there is integration with respect to trade, with respect to infrastructure, with respect to private sector performance. If the private sector does not invest in industry, if it does not invest in trade within and across to stimulate consumption so that people have the taxes within their economy to reinvest in the public infrastructure, there is no way we are going to say we are self-sufficient. Gender as gender, broken down, is the two species that make up the Africans, the men and the women. An issue of inclusiveness. It's a very good example of saying, if you can leave women behind, then there is no reason why you will not leave the men behind. There is no reason why one country in Africa, if it's suffering, you will say, after all, it's one country, let's leave it behind. It is the whole ideology of inclusiveness, of equal participation,